Well, welcome back everyone to Hope Island Zoo. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. It seems like so many of you guys are so interested in the series, and that just warms my freaking little heart. So of course we are back here. We are banging out the rest of our animal list, starting with our black swans. Oh my gosh. So a lot of you guys responded pretty well to the last episode, and it just makes me so freaking happy because, I don't know, I just want to talk a little bit about my experience with this so far. It's just like franchise, but 10 times better. I know I put that in the title of the last video, but I just wanted to go into what that actually means in this video a little bit more. By the way, what we're doing right here with the black swan pond, we're actually trying to make this kind of tarp effect. A lot of the times when you see kind of makeshift ponds like this, they have this tarp layer on there, so all the water stays inside that little pond. It's just a little trick that a lot of people use in, like, you know, home gardens, backyards, and stuff like that. But we're using that in our very professional zoo. But franchise mode never really struck me as something that was really realistic. They implemented this entire market, but what they did kind of neglect to take into mind is regional differences. A lot of the times when you do work like in zoos like this, you do have bans on stuff, you do have restrictions on stuff. For example, if you have a zoo in Australia, you're not allowed to have like flamingos. I think that's a very big problem over there because I love my flamingos, but that's just a little bit of the tip of the iceberg that I feel like Planet Zoo doesn't really touch upon, and it does kind of bum me out because of that. By the way, we're going to throw up the picture of our little swans arriving right in here. They're in the temporary pool. We also used one of Haribo's gazebos. Oh my gosh, it turns out so good on that little point. But franchise mode, there's a lot of different things. Like, you can't even trade with your friends. That's a huge issue that I see, because what if you and your friends only want to start like a little zoo sim together, but you have to throw your animal up on the market and someone else might snag it from you? That's a huge problem right over there. So you guys gotta like coordinate that a lot better. But in this, it's so much better because, you know, who cares about the stats of the animals? Maybe you might care that an animal is albino or not. That's usually a very big importance, but I don't know. With everything being said, though, we're starting on a temporary exhibit over here for our tropical animals. So this is going to be our alligator and agouti and American white ibis house. We throw all of them in here. Obviously, we're just waiting on some permits or something to actually build a absolutely stagnant reptile house. I don't know the right word to say there, so I just threw in a random word. But I don't know, it was really fun. We're also using the free build mod, in case if you guys don't already know that. We're using all the mods in this, actually. But I really wanted to use free build because we could do some really fun stuff with paths. We could do some really fun stuff with like water and stuff. It's just all very fun in the end. But essentially what we do a nice plaster lined pool for our alligator, and what we actually do in the next episode, we actually split up that habitat even more so we could introduce our Asian water monitor because I ran out of space, but we throw him in there in the next episode. But I don't know, I'm just very happy with how boring this entire habitat came out, but you know, that's exactly what it needs to be. Obviously, I kind of go a little bit too in depth with the agoutis. You guys will see that in a little bit, and we do have some problems with, like, you know, the coloration of them. We have some problems with, like, you know, navigation, but we eventually do get it all fixed up and settled nonetheless. Going through here and adding some trims as well, making sure that this whole building feels a little bit more cohesive to the story. And we go back and use Nick's gravel pieces right on the top just to make sure that it feels a lot better, makes it blend in with the rest of the buildings, because you might already notice that the rest of the buildings do have that kind of gravel top, and it's just something that I do want to keep on not rotating, but keep on doing over and over again because it does look good and it really does help to sell the entire experience. We're also using everyone's murals. Everyone is here. I'm using the Safari Pack murals. I'm using the regular Planet Zoo ones. I'm using European Midnight by SibCDC. By the way, SibCDC actually joined, so that's going to be really fun to start training with him. I see a good amount of you guys actually joining the project, and I do want to say welcome. It's going to be such a blast, like, trading with you guys. Again, for everyone at home, I'm not going to publicly share the link until they get all the bugs worked out with, like, automation and stuff for, like, breeding, for storytelling and stuff like that. We actually did just have one of our first events recently, but that's going to be its own episode later down the line. That's another thing that franchise doesn't really have for me is, wow, that's words. But, no, we do get those community challenges, like, you know, the crocodile one is out right now, but that doesn't really scream, you know, community to me. It just seems like everyone's doing their individual part, but no one gets to really interact with each other. But with these events, we'll see a lot of them when we actually get to that episode. The staff actually take the time to write out specific storylines, specific events that do pertain to everyone's zoos, depending on regional areas, depending on where you're based, and the like. And it's just a really fun process when you actually take a look at it all. But going through here, you know what? I might as well just add in when we got our goodies, so you guys can check out the little press room release that we did for those guys right there. It's just all the press releases I absolutely love doing. I don't know, it's just so fun to world build like that. And we'll also do the one for our big boy Chandler right there. I apologize, my nose is starting to get a little stuffy again. I don't really know what's up with that. But going through here, we're adding the most amount of foliage in here for some reason. I didn't really want to go overboard because we're still starting off. We don't really have the biggest budget, so I guess you could kind of imply that we kind of blew all the budget in here. But we can definitely reuse a lot of these pieces going forward in order to save money, like, you know, in the future. I also used NDP's faux rock set, but unfortunately, since the hitboxes aren't fixed, they are kind of jank, and I had to get rid of them because I needed my goodies to pass right through them, but they physically couldn't. We're also throwing a few vines throughout the place. We could probably imply that these aren't real, they aren't living, they're actually made out of rope, which is something that I do love to think of, like, you know, all these tiny little, I don't know, all these tiny little world building things. It's always so fun when it comes to this entire build. I'm sorry, I'm getting very sniffly today. But going through here, adding the rest of the theming, I do add, like, that beautiful, that painted or stained wood. Frontier, we need more stuff like that. It is so clean and it's so perfect for builds like this, and it's so versatile. I love using it everywhere. We also change out the paths in here as well, make sure that everything flows nice and smoothly on the inside. And we do line, like, the edges of it with that plaster as well, just to make sure that it feels a little bit more cohesive within the theme. I may even go back and do some billboards in there if we don't actually retrofit, like, an entire building for these guys going forward. I think what I'll try to do, I'll try and trade with some people in order to get a few more rainforest species, maybe some more reptiles or something, in order to actually justify making a whole new building. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun to have. And also what we're doing around here, we're just decorating the edge of the building, because when you have a building like this, you would need a solid foundation, and I figure you might as well line it with a bunch of rubble, bunch of rocks, the faux rocks that Frontier Game came up with the aquatic pack do the job extremely well over here, and they really help to sell the vibe. And also adding some more decorations on the outside as well once we actually get there. We do add these murals, so guests can probably infer that, like, yep, I am in a zoo, and this is probably, like, advertising for, like, other areas that they might have in the zoo. We might have a few desert animals going forward. We actually do in the next episode, so get ready for that, guys. What we also have are some savanna animals going forward. I would definitely... Okay, we should probably talk about, like, our end goal over here. The end goal, forgive, like, all the lag on the screen right now, it was being a little facetious. But, our end goal over here is to probably get a big animal. So, I don't know, I threw out the idea of a giraffe or a jaguar habitat, but if you guys have any better ideas, definitely do let me know in the comments down below. I'm not really sure what would actually fit on this island. Elephants are probably out of the question. those would definitely be a really fun thing to work towards, but definitely not right now. But if you guys do have any ideas for some larger animals, I am more than happy to hear them, because I would love to get some big wildlife on here. Maybe lions might be cool. I don't really know. Definitely do let me know in the comments down below, because you guys are always so much more smarter about this. I love seeing all your ideas recently. I don't know what's gotten into you guys, but you guys get some bang up ideas. I love seeing it all. But just going through the rest of the habitat, not the habitat, the exterior, and adding some more decorations, adding some of Mr. Domez's, like, actually, I think those are Digiduffs. I'm not really sure. I gotta look that up and add it to, like, a little memorial wall soon. But, we're also adding the porcupine habitat, so I might as well throw a picture of those guys right there, so you guys can see our nice little porcupine. What did we actually name him? We named him Oliver Quill. That was thanks to Stoppable San, so thank you, San, for possibly the cutest name for a porcupine ever. So we add him in there, and I don't know, I just really love how this entire zoo is turning out. In fact, right here, I'll also throw in our little, like, giraffe statue. I did that off camera, and you can see a little bit of it pop up in the speed build every now and again. But, no, I did that off camera because, I don't know, I was just trying to experiment with some stuff. But I ended up really liking it, so we ended up keeping it. I don't know, I really love how that turned out. But going through the rest of here, and we're just about to finish this up. Again, we're copying the same aviaries that we had before. North American porcupines don't really require the most amount of space saved in the game, also, just because I'm worried that the porcupine may crash the game. But we're entering the B-roll right now, so I really do hope you guys enjoyed this entire episode. There's that beautiful giraffe statue. You could probably go there with your family and take a picture in front of it, but don't look in between the legs, because I threw a little Easter egg in there. Get it? Wink, wink. But all being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, ZHU will be open to the greater public relatively soon. I've talked with the mods and, like, the whole staff over there recently, and we're still trying to figure out how to best implement some of the best systems into getting a lot more people into this really awesome project. But all things being said, I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the footage of the zoo. And guess what? See you guys in the next episode of ZHU. Take care and have the most wonderful, wonderful days. Bye-bye now.